Hi, I'm David Benjamin, CEO of Skool. We're making thinking visible. Creativity, problem solving, and other executive functions are difficult to teach because they're intangible. You can't see them. They're even more difficult in the virtual environment, and they're not even on the menu for marginalized students. Our Skool browser extension gives students a collection of smart tags that they can use anywhere on the web to create knowledge artifacts that layer on top of the page, making thinking visible. Our patented bridge technology enables students to connect a piece of information from one page to a piece of information on another page with a relationship. So they choose content A, content B, give it a relationship, provide an explanation, a category, and a tag. They post it. It is now visible to themselves, their peers, and their teachers. And there's also a whole nother set of smart tags as well. The value proposition for the teacher is to make a difficult thing much easier to teach. For students, they can have fun learning executive functions. This visible thinking, it supercharges the 4 C's and it reduces cognitive load. We've got a team that has advanced degrees from Stanford, a learning science specialist, and someone who worked on browser overlays and annotations in the early days at Netscape. We are seeking a foundation partner or early stage venture capital partner to invest in making thinking visible for students from underserved backgrounds. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Sharks, any questions or comments for David?
I can go first again and say I am 100% a visual learner, and so this would have solved so many problems for me back in school. I guess the primary question that I would have is how do you, well, I guess could you walk us through an example of how do you translate a lesson into something visual?
Cool.
You would like an example of walking you through an example? So, for example, a teacher is teaching, say, COVID-19. It's inquiry-based learning, looking at whether you can get COVID-19 twice. So says to the students, we're going to start on this page, but we'd like you to create bridges. I'd like you to each create 3 bridges. How about one supporting bridge, one contradicting bridge? So they get this body of bridges that the students have created. Then the teacher could say, let's now validate these bridges. I want you to make sure that the relationships are correct. So if it says it's a contradicting relationship, the 2 pieces need to be contradicting. So let's make sure, and we'll validate these. So they go through that process. So now they have a curated, validated set of bridges, and the teacher could then say, okay, at this point, I'd like you to make a claim. What do you believe is true? And identify or bridge to the supporting evidence. And there could be other steps as well. They could debate on it. They could go into breakout groups and discuss it. But it's touching on a number of different executive functions, critical thinking functions in that set.
That's super helpful. Thank you.
My question is, do you have an MVP or do you have paying customers? Where are you in the life cycle of your business?
We're pre-revenue. We have a proof of concept of the bridging. It's not in the educational context at the moment. So we're now building a proof of concept, which will be done in 2 months, of the bridging in the educational context.
Thank you.
I love that you're going big and trying to disrupt the way that we learn. So huge. The technology is obviously extremely innovative. It's great that it's new. It'll require a little bit of behavior change. And so I just love to hear about how you're incorporating student voice into the development of the product.
Well, I've had conversations with many teachers, but also some students, and got some really enthusiastic reactions. One of them said, you know what, if all these bridges were getting created and I could see the bridges of my peers, I could probably learn twice as fast. But the way that we'll do it, and the way we've been getting input from other people so far, is to do online virtual salons. where we invite either teachers and or students and administrators, show them the mock-ups, get feedback. But as we go into the proof of concept, we're going to be having basically a challenge for making the bridges that have the most impact in terms of the possibility of shifting how someone sees something. And we're going to do it within topic areas with juries. So we could do one on climate change, and we'd invite in students to make these, and then we'd lift those up as an example of how connecting information can shift perceptions.
I love it, David. Thank you.